Hello, love. If you've been following along with me for a while, you know that the majority of my items that have been selling lately came from a lot of free inventory that I started getting last July, but I slowly got a little bit more and more each time I visited this person I met through Nextdoor. Of course, in the month of April on eBay, it's the exact same thing. So a lot of my sales are going to be from that free inventory. If you see Loft, it's definitely that free inventory. In fact, the very first thing to sell over on eBay was free inventory. It was Loft. It was a dress. It was extra small petite. So I already knew off the bat it wasn't going to go for very much. This sold for 99 cents. The buyer did pay for shipping because it was free. I was willing to let it go, especially because of the size. Right off the bat, just trying to make some sales here. This next piece actually came from a ThredUp rescue box. I got 200 pounds of the rescue box from ThredUp. This came in one of the boxes. It is an athletic cropped yoga pant or athletic cropped legging. It had kind of like speckled details. It was purple. This sold for $10 to the buyer. The buyer did pay for shipping. I estimated my cost of goods to be roughly $2, a little bit less than $2. I always round up though. This next piece also came from a ThredUp rescue box. It was a vintage cropped blazer. This was Lady Carol was the brand. The tag was coming off just a little bit. Of course, I took a picture, put it in the listing. This sold for $5. The buyer did pay for shipping. I accidentally overcharged on the shipping. I don't know why, but I guess I made out on the shipping as well, so it sold a little bit more than $5. This vintage fur coat actually sold to a viewer, so thank you very much if you are watching this follow-up. This actually came from a Cozy Threads box. I think it was 5 pieces of vintage fur, mostly coats. There was a vest in there as well. If you didn't watch my video for that, I will definitely put that in the description, as well as my referral code for Cozy Threads. I know that a lot of people have had kind of like good and bad experiences with Cozy Threads. My experience has been good. So right now I'm going through a lot of flip inventory, but I do plan to get another box from Cozy Threads after I get out of this death pile disaster that I'm in, and I of course will update you on that. But right now I have probably 200 pieces that are just completely unlisted, so I've kind of put myself on a freeze for the time being. I was getting into this habit of getting inventory, and not listing that inventory. So this death pile is a disaster. Trying to clean myself up, get myself out of this disaster. I will tell you that I'm in education, and in the summers we have 4-day work weeks. So every Friday I hope to focus completely on reselling and just dig myself out of this hole, so that, of course, like I was talking about, I can get back into Cozy Threads. This Loft ruffle green tank came from, of course, free inventory. This sold for $7 to the buyer. The buyer did also pay for shipping as well. I did feature this shirt in one of my previous videos. I'll put a picture right here for you of that video. By the way, anytime I wear a shirt or dress or whatever in my videos, I always link it in the description. They are always for sale. Sometimes I take it out of my inventory just for the sake of the video. I'm not gonna lie about that. Sometimes it's my clothes that I am willing to get rid of. This shirt, of course, is in the description. I will say there is a little hole on the back. I think it can be fixed pretty easily. I'm trying to figure out what. There we go, it's on this side. I think it can be fixed. This is Diane von Furstenberg, I think is how you say that name. So it's pretty high priced, I would say, but because of that hole in the back, I priced it way down, just in case you're interested. Anyways, this next piece also was a Loft, of course, free inventory. It is a scalloped Riviera shorts. I do sometimes lot these shorts together, but this one I did not lot together. This was a size 8. It sold for $16 to the buyer. The buyer did also pay for shipping on it, so I made out with that free inventory in that case without a doubt. This blue baby sun bucket hat came from a Quick Lots Amazon pallet that I got a little bit more than a year ago now. I, of course, sold through most of the inventory from that box so far. I estimated my cost of goods to be roughly 50 cents, but I've made a lot more money back than I even thought I was going to make on that. So it's almost like just icing on the cake, kind of almost like free inventory at this point. This sold for $5.25. The buyer did also pay for shipping. I will say this was purchased before and then the buyer never paid. It was held up for a while because you know that whole thing with eBay, people buy stuff all the time, they don't necessarily pay for it. This time the buyer stuck, they paid for it, they rated me, it's all good. Speaking of pieces that people never pay for, this next piece, it wasn't ever paid for, but I'm gonna go and throw it out because I was just talking about it anyways. This was a Loft blue and white striped long button-up shirt. It was kind of, I think it was a linen material actually. This, the buyer never paid for, so of course I had to have it up on eBay for all that time, but it was still on Poshmark, Mercari, whatever. So it was still available for sale because I never take my items down until the buyer actually pays for it, just because this happens, unfortunately, so frequently. It has happened a couple of times where somebody purchased it on eBay. I was waiting for the payment. It did sell on another platform and the buyer did end up paying on eBay. I always, in those situations, go with the eBay buyer just because the algorithm destroys you if you have to cancel a sale. And on like Mercari, yes, they note that you canceled a sale, but it doesn't destroy you in the algorithm as much. So as much as possible, I try to cancel on the other platforms. If I can't for whatever reason, maybe that buyer is like super upset, whatever, I message the buyer and ask if they would like to get a different item in the same price range. I try to go up just a little bit. So if it's a $10 item, I say you can get anything $20 or less in my store. Or I ask if they just want me to cancel the sale. More than likely, they just want me to cancel the sale. And because they are the one technically saying to cancel the sale, I can mark that down. I think everybody does that. It's kind of a well-known fact. So I don't know if that's ever going to change or if it does impact algorithm, just not as much. But since so many people do it, I know that eBay has a kind of eye on that as well. This Victoria's Secret lightweight zip-up sweater came from free inventory without a doubt. This sold for $25. The buyer did pay for shipping as well. So all of that profit was completely profit to me because I didn't have any cost of goods for it. Which that kind of made up for my next sale because this piece came from a ThredUp rescue box that I estimated my cost of goods to be $2. This Wild Fable dress sold for $1. So I technically lost money on it, but triggers the algorithm. I just kind of let things go when it's these pieces that I just, I don't necessarily want in my store, but I have them, I listed them, and just trying to get rid of them to trigger the other sales. But yep, this sold for $1.99. The buyer did pay for shipping though, so that was good. But right next sale was free inventory. It was a Loft long sleeve shirt. This shirt I also did feature on one of my videos. Of course, I'll put a picture here. I'm pretty sure this shirt sold to a viewer as well. And the reason why I can tell is because it was associated with my eBay partner network sales. And it showed that I had money come in from that particular shirt. I don't know who bought it, so thank you if you purchased it from me. This sold for $14. The buyer did pay for shipping. eBay Partner Network got money for that, and it was free inventory. That was definitely a good sale for me. If you don't know what the eBay Partner Network is, it is essentially affiliate marketing for eBay. And just like with Amazon, if anybody clicks your link, I think it's within 24 hours, maybe it's even 48 hours, I'm not sure. But if anyone clicks your link, if they buy anything, you get credit for it. So I know a lot of people are part of the Amazon affiliate marketing. I am part of eBay mostly because I can link my own stuff and get credit for my own stuff selling as well as anything else selling. And of course, I'm talking to a lot of resellers here who buy and sell a lot on eBay, so why not? If you are not part of the eBay Partner Network yet, I highly recommend it without a doubt. It's not very difficult to get accepted into. It does take a little bit of time to learn the ins and outs, but once you get the hang of it, it's really pretty simple. This next piece, again, came from free inventory. It was a Loft blue flowy embroidered shirt, which, what do you know, was also featured on one of my videos. I don't think this one came from a viewer because I didn't get eBay Partner Networking affiliate money from it. That was a long phrase there, but if it was, cool anyways. This ended up selling for $15 to the buyer. The buyer did also pay for shipping. These Michael Kors bootcut jeans came from a flip lot that I recently got into. I did make a haul of this, so I will of course put that video in the description. I ended up buying out this lot for $90. The very first thing that sold was $92. It was my profit from that. So anything on top of that was definitely even more and more profit to me. These sold for $10 to the buyer. The buyer did pay for shipping. Because I've already paid out that lot, I am just considering these to be icing on the cake, almost like free inventory, but of course, if I broke down my cost of goods for each piece, I would end up paying some. This Forever 21 black and green floral dress came from a ThredUp rescue box. This sold for $9. The buyer did pay for shipping. I was kind of sad that this sold because I really liked it and I really wanted to keep it. However, I did try it on one time and it was so incredibly short that I could not possibly feel comfortable going out in it without tights or whatever, and I don't really like tights. They kind of just drive me crazy. So after I got over that, because I couldn't actually wear it, I was fine letting it go, but I did like it so much. This Zara button front purple or pink, it was like a pink purple crossover shirt, was also featured in one of my videos, funny enough. This sold for $15. The buyer did also pay for shipping for it. This came from the free inventory that I sourced along with all of that Loft and Next and Tommy Hilfiger stuff. These Worthington Petite black pants came from a ThredUp rescue box. These sold for $8. The buyer did pay for shipping. I believe I overcharged on the shipping just a little bit. I estimated them to be a pound, I think, but they were actually more in the 8-ounce range. So I made out a little bit on the shipping, but not like, I'm not crazy overcharging on shipping over here. This blue and white unicorn costume came from an Amazon Quick Lots palette that, like I said, I got a little bit over a year ago. I was kind of surprised that a costume sold in April, but it did, so whatever. This sold for 99 cents. The buyer did pay for shipping, so I essentially sold it out for free or shipped it out for free, but it's out of my house. It was kind of bulky, so I'm okay with that. This Ann Taylor dress was also featured in one of my videos. This sold for $7.35. The buyer did pay for shipping. It was Ann Taylor Loft, of course, free inventory. This Despicable Me Minion, like 7-inch doll came from my mom. My mom has been clearing out all kinds of things from her basement lately, and she, randomly takes pictures and sends things to me. I put them up. If it sells, it sells. If not, she is actually part of a buy nothing group. So if it doesn't sell within like 90 days, she ends up just putting it at the buy nothing and gets rid of it. This is one thing that did end up selling. It sold for $6.90. The buyer also paid for shipping on it. Anytime I get anything from my mom, she always tells me sometimes she sources stuff specifically for me to sell, and sometimes she's just trying to clear things out. This is something she was trying to clear things out, and of course, it's my mom. She loves supporting me, so she just says, keep it, do what you gotta do with it. This Disney 50th anniversary mug, I actually was on a trip with my mom and my aunt at Disney recently, probably in March, I wanna say. And they were looking for all kinds of different things to get nieces and nephews and whatnot. My eye was on reselling though. I saw this shelf that had, limited to customers. It was 50th anniversary. I could tell that it was something that was going to sell. So I went ahead and picked up a couple. One already sold. This is the second one to sell. I do live in Orlando, so I have the opportunity to go to Disney, of course, whenever I want to. The thing with this though, I was with my aunt who is part of the Disney Vacation Club, and she got, I want to say it was 25% off of everything. So of course I used her discount. I knew even if I couldn't sell this for a higher profit, I'd be able to sell it at least as the original cost of goods, which would make up for the seller fees. This Ann Taylor Loft piece also came from free inventory without a doubt. It was an army green semi-sheer shirt. This sold for $7. The buyer also paid for shipping on it. This Breitling Baseball Hat was my boyfriend's. He's of course into luxury watches, and every time he gets a watch, they give a little, giveaway with it or whatever. This hat actually came with one of his watches. Now I actually had two hats because one came with each watch, whatever. One was more of like a gold tone and one was this white one. Well, when I shipped it out, I accidentally shipped the gold threading or gold embroidered hat. And of course, this buyer purchased the white one. When they got it, they actually ended up saying it was fine. They liked it anyways. They did give me neutral feedback, which it was my fault. I sent the wrong hat. I'm happy they ended up liking it and it wasn't like a return or anything like that, because it was global shipping. I feel like that would be a pain in the butt to return for sure. Maybe that's why they ended up keeping it anyways. I did recently actually sell the white one in the month of May, which sold for double this price. This ended up selling for $28. The buyer did pay for shipping, and like I said, it was part of the global shipping program as well. This Lucky Brand Camouflage jacket came from a ThredUp rescue box. This sold for $16. The buyer also paid for shipping on it. This Ben Sherman blue and white checked dress shirt came from my boyfriend, and we always do a 50-50 split on profits. I typically just pay him out right away as things come in just to make it easy. This sold for $6.88 to the buyer. Obviously, 50-50 split wasn't that much, but it was something he was clearing out anyways, was probably gonna donate if it wasn't for me reselling. The buyer did pay for shipping for this. And the very last thing came from a Quick Lots Nordstrom General Merchandise half pallet. Quite a phrase every time I say this. This sold for $1.99 with $1.99 shipping. So it sold for $4.26. The shipping on this was, I think, about $3.50. By the time you take out the eBay fees, I made absolutely no money, but again, it was out of my house trying to trigger some sales here. That was the last sale in April though, but in May, the May 1st, something else sold. So we're all good. Things are still selling around here. If you are already one of the 300 people subscribed to this channel, I so appreciate you. If you are not yet subscribed and you want to be part of the 400 club, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I super appreciate it. My next few videos are going to be hauls of all of the flip-flops that I was talking about that I've been stacking and stacking and stacking, and all the death pile disaster that I am trying to get through. So if that interests you, make sure you hit the notification bell so you can be notified when those videos come out. If this video helped you in any way, go ahead and hit that like button. That allows YouTube to know that you appreciate my content. That way my videos show up on your homepage and the homepage of others, so we can continue to learn and grow together.